All right, great. So good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for jumping on today's training webinar. I labeled it Forex 101. Anyone who has watched any of my trainings before, I try to be very thorough. I try to give you examples and, things like that. So I'm going to pull up my PowerPoint presentation. We're going to go through that. And like I said, if you have questions along the way, feel free to post your questions. Alternately, at the end of the call, I will open up the line for any questions that you all may have. So let me share my screen. Let me see. Let me mute my phone. I keep getting alerts. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's just share, for now, just share the desktop. Share this presentation. All right, so let me get this in slideshow presentation. Actually, let me stop and redo this. Here we go. I'm just gonna share my whole screen, makes it easier. Alrighty. Okay, so basically, today's objective is to maximize trade alerts while learning Forex by understanding and determining your lot size, understanding and calculating pips, and determining your risk. As many of you on the line are aware, we actually just launched the new app probably about a week ago. And I understand there may be some other people on here that aren't actually plugged into the app, which is cool because this can still be used if you're getting on IML TV with Dr. Kathy for 10 pips a dip, swipe trades, all of that. And I know like with swipe trades, they give you the parameters, but you have the flexibility to adjust parameters however you see fit, which is the powerful thing I love about IML. But the main focus of this call is now that we have new people who are in the system, they're trying to get their bearings. They're trying to figure out how to make this work. I wanted to come and create this training to give you those basics. Now, this is no IML TV training by far. Let me say that. I do like to kind of cut away all the bone and just give you the meat. So even after this call, you may still want to get on IML TV, do some additional research, and different things like that, just to start growing in your knowledge of these areas as a whole. But the information that I'm going to give you today is put you in position to go ahead and start maximizing, being efficient and effective with taking trade alerts through the 10 pips and dip alongside your education. So first thing I want to talk about is understanding lots and pips relationship. They are intertwined, they go with each other, very important to know and understand. So in a nutshell, pips are basically the change in price of a currency pair. It's easily identified by the two big numbers on the MetaTrader 4 phone app, which I'm going to show you all on the next screen. And basically lots determine how much money you gain or lose with every change in the currency price, or with every pip change. If it's going in your favor, it's a gain. If it's going against you, it's a loss. So that's basically how pips and lots are actually related. So let's talk about pips. Okay, so if you look at this screenshot here, let me cut annotation off because people are writing on the screen. Give me 1 second. All right, great. Okay, so let's talk about pips. So on the left-hand side, this is actually a screenshot of my MetaTrader 4 app. If you notice these big numbers, these numbers are the pips, okay? Actually ignore XAU USD, which is gold. Calculating pips for gold is complete, and oil are completely different than calculating pips for your basic currency pairs. So this training is geared towards Forex pairs, not commodities, not cryptocurrencies, none of that. Straight Forex. So ignore oil and gold. You're looking at your USD, JPY, Euro USD, and so forth. So these big numbers here are actually where your pips are. So for example, if you look at Euro USD, which is here, and I actually looked at this number. So basically another thing that you will notice, and I'm gonna briefly talk about this. If you're getting alerts and you're getting signals, and you're looking at entering, one of the things you want to look at is your spread. You want your spreads to be super low. So really with this spread, a 10 spread, that's like 10 points, which is really 1 pip. So if you notice between the price if you were to buy versus the price you would sell, the difference is 1 pip. So if this number was like, let's just say 80, that's a difference of 8 pips. You may not want to enter in that actual trade because your spread plays a role in how quickly you actually enter into profit, okay? So just wanted to throw that out there, do additional research on that for sure, okay? But yeah, so spreads are definitely important. I say anything, honestly, some people say anything under 30, 40 is good. I try to stick under 20, me personally, okay? But it's totally up to you, but I just want to make sure you know the spread is basically the difference between your buy entry and your sell entry. And that's why all trades always go in the negative first, and then they have to work their way through the spread before they can actually hit profit. So Euro USD 1.16072. Okay, so the 07 is the pip focal point. This is the pip. Now this little 2 over here is like a pipette is what it's called. So think about microsecond, millisecond to a second. So you know how like you have seconds 1, 2, 3, but then you got that little fast number that's rolling before it gets to 2 and before it gets to 3. That's what this little pipette is, okay? So how does this work when you're getting alerts, okay? You're gonna look at the big number, and if it's a buy, just add 10 to it, and that's your new take profit amount. If it's a sell, you're gonna subtract 10 from the 07, and that is your take profit amount. Now, it could get a little tricky, like with this example with the sell, because it's at 0.07, which means the price is gonna actually go down. So if somebody can type in the chat, based off of this example that you're looking at, 1.16072 is your entry. You're gonna buy with the 10 pip take profit, and you're gonna sell with the 10 pip take profit. What are those amounts? Somebody type it in the chat. Your take profits based off of a 10 pip take profit with this entry point. See what we got out here. $1.1617 buy. Okay, good. And then 1.1597. Good. Okay, perfect. All right, good job, good job. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, so I want to do some practice. I'm all about execution because I can sit here and talk all day. But if you have pen and paper, I hope you got it out. If not, grab some really quick. Let's practice really quick. I want you to look at these right here. I gave you 3 different pairs, 3 different entry points. I need you to tell me the buy, take profit, and the sell, take profit. Add your 10 pips and dip. Let's go. And post it in the comments once you have it. Let's see what we got popping. Okay. Hey, Cal. All right, 1.16. Let's see what we got. Okay, I see them popping through. All right, good job. Okay, USU do that. Okay. I'm loving this interaction. This is the way you get it, guys, by actually implementing and practicing what we're learning on here. So super proud of you guys for putting your answers out here. All right, so looking for that UCAD. What somebody has the UCAD. And if you have questions, remember, feel free, type your questions in the chat. Okay, 5, 3, 2. I hear somebody say they can't hear. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, perfect. You may want to log out and log back in or check your sound settings. All right, perfect. Let's see, UC. Perfect. I'm so proud of you guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, let's go on over here. So here are your answers. So I saw all these answers pop up. Super, super proud of you guys. Like, you really getting it. That's the key. And as quickly as y'all were able to go in there and add that 10, like, that's the key. Now, I did see a few people post, and it may have been off a little bit, and it was tricky. I get it. It was tricky because, number one, let me go back. I did not make the pips big. I just wrote the numbers as you would see them traditionally in an alert. Okay, so what you may have to do for a season is go and look at the pair in your MetaTrader 4 app to identify the pips first, because some people were adding it to the last two numbers, like the 6-2, when it really should have been added to the 0-6, or it really should have been added to the 6-5, not the 5-7. So just make sure that you're watching and looking at that, okay? All right, so now let's go on to lot sizes really, really quick. So lot sizes, as I stated before, this is where you determine how much you make. So all 170 of us on this call today could enter the exact same trade, exact same entry point, exact same take profit, but we all make different amounts of money. So lot sizes is what determines how much money you actually make. Okay, so there are 3 different types of lot sizes. Okay, so it's 3 different types of lot sizes. And those lot sizes are micro, which is anything from 0.01 to 0.09. You have your mini, which is from 0.10 to 0.99. And then you have your standards, which are anything from 1.00 and above. So the larger your lot size, the greater your reward, or the greater your loss. So that's why it's definitely important to understand the risk versus the reward, where this whole process is actually concerned. So I wanted to kind of give you a lot size breakdown really quick. And these are not all the lots. So when I say that a micro is 0.01 to 0.09, that means you can trade 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, 0.05, 0.06, 0.07, 0.08, 0.09. Okay? And then when I say a mini is between 0.10 to 0.99, that means you could trade 0.12, 0.23, 0.37, 0.98. Like, there's no limit on what those lot sizes can be. It could be anything in between. So you don't have to always say, I got to trade 0.10, 0.20. You know, you can do really whatever you want to do. Now, your standards, they are anything of 1.00 and above. I saw somebody do a trade last week, and they did 1,000 standards. And I mean, this is a real account, real legit person. I was like, ooh, like that's like 10,000 a pip. You know, that's some bossy stuff. I can't wait till I can do 10,000 a pip. But anyway, so that is how you calculate the lot sizes. So of course, let's practice. So I put out here like 10 different lots. I need you to tell me how much these lots are per pip. Because sometimes I see this and I cringe when I'm on social media. I don't see it as much anymore because of the compliance guidelines change where IML is concerned. But I'll see somebody and they'll be like, I turned 10 cents into $30, but you really didn't. You turned like $1 into $30. So it's like making sure that everybody understands the lingo, understands what they're really looking at, you know, and all of that. So even when you're teaching or even when you're talking to people, you want to make sure that you're actually, you want to make sure that you are actually doing what you need to do. As far as, even if you don't know a lot about Forex, these things right here are actually in the first 4 videos of IML TV. So if I see any of you posting like that, then I know that you haven't watched IML TV. So anyway, so I'm looking at these answers popping through. Exactly, Robin. Move the decimal 1 place for your answer. So yeah, I had that in my notes, Robin. You in my brain. I just forgot to read my notes. Thanks, Robin, for that. So yeah, so as Robin just stated, you literally just move your decimal point 1 place to get your actual lot size. So while you're giving me, well, I don't want to change the screen while you're giving me those answers. But yeah, so as you can see, some people are posting in the chat. So 0.03, just move the decimal 1 place, that's 30 cents. 0.12, you move it 1 place, that's $1.20. Okay, and so forth. All righty, let's see what we got. See how many of these answers we got. Okay. Is somebody gonna take a stab at the 200 lot? I see we stopped at 5.75. Or the 10, anybody know? But okay, I see Crystal posted. Good job, Crystal. Got all those answers popping. Yep, there you go, Cam. Appreciate that. All right, guys, so there you go. So we checking our answers. I saw all the correct answers out there, so we good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, what I want to do is bring it all together. So you understand how to calculate your 10 pips and dip. You understand what lot sizes are. So now I have some examples here. I'm giving you the pair. I'm telling you your entry point. I'm telling you if it's a buy or a sell, and I'm giving you your lot size. So I need you now to tell me what is your take profit and what will your profit be if this hits your take profit. So let's keep it popping. I should have played some music. Let me see what I got on my phone. Somebody asked, is there a stop loss? Oh, I got a YouTube famous waiting music. I'll do that for my next one. Let me see. There's not a stop loss calculation for the 10 pips and dip. And I'm gonna talk about why here in a second. So give me one moment. Let's get these answers done. And then I'm actually gonna be talking, I am gonna be talking about your risk here. But is not the 10 pips and dip, we don't give stop losses, and I'll explain why. All right, so we got EU, AU, GU, Euro, okay. NU, okay. So guessing that if you multiply your take profit by your lot size, you get the profit. Yeah. So we all know it's 10 pips for these particular ones or whatever. And so once you know your lot size, just multiply by 10 pips. Okay. So here are the answers that you all posted. With Euro USD, your entry was 1.16062. Oh, and this is something you'll learn about me too. I'm like super extra sometimes. Like some people round up or round down or whatever when it comes to that. I literally leave every number except for those 2 pips. Like some people would have just said my take profit is 1.1596, you know, because that's what the pips are, but I still add my 2 on there to get my extra or whatever. Or I might say go down a little bit. So it's no right or wrong where that's concerned. You can choose if you keep all numbers or not. It's not a right or wrong to that. So that's why my answers are the way they are, is because I keep every digit. Perfect. Okay. $100, $42, $25, and I think I saw $9 in the chat. Yep, $9, 75406. All right, guys, I'm excited. 69317. If this is helpful, just comment yes in the chat so I know that this is very beneficial. All right. So let me stop my share. Well, I just got to the end of this actual presentation here. I am gonna, so let me go ahead and say this. The reason why Dr. Kathy doesn't give a stop loss is because only you know how much money you're willing to risk on a trade. So her risk may freak somebody else out. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the reason why I did, yeah, I'll go through them again. I'll actually post this PowerPoint to the app. So you'll I'll post it as a PDF to make it easier to download. So I'll get that out there today. But the reason that we don't do a stop loss is because okay, so like, let's just say for me, I'm willing to stay in the trade longer than the average person. So let's just say I'm willing to let my thing go draw down 100 pips. Somebody else might freak out about 100 pips. You know what you wanted to risk. So this is what, let me go here. Let me create a new slide real quick. I want to kind of show you, let's see. Let's do this slide. Okay. You all can still see my screen, right? Okay, perfect. So as I stated before, remember your lot size is actually determines how much you can make or how much you can lose. So let's just say Dr. Kathy throws a trade out there. Let's just say Euro USD. It's a buy, TP 10 pips. Now, while Dr. Kathy's trades pretty much 99.9% go to profit. Like, I don't think I've lost a trade with her, maybe once or twice, honestly. But sometimes the trades don't immediately go there, and there may be some drawdown before it goes where it's supposed to go. Okay. Now, some people use stop losses. Some people don't use stop losses. So it's up to you to determine what's best for your account, because we don't want anybody to feel like they want to go back and say, well, she told me this stop loss and I blew my account, or you know what I'm saying? So you can determine from a dollar standpoint, or you can determine from a pip standpoint. So now that you understand how to calculate pips and understand what pips mean, and you understand what lot sizes mean, you can determine what that looks like. So let me give you an example. So let's just say you have a $500 account, okay? Now, you decide to enter a trade and you decide to be a little risky and you do a 0.50 lot, which is equal to $5 per pip. Now, you're trying to gain 10 pips so you can make $50 real quick, right? So 10 pips is $50. If I had, is that right? Yeah. So if I, let's just say me personally, like I said, I'll go like 100 pips down. Like I just don't like closing stuff. But that's just my own little quirky whatever. So let's just say in this case, it wouldn't be smart for me to go to 100 pip stop loss because that would put me at negative $500. So you only know what you can stand to risk. So you have to become a disciplined trader to say, I have 500 in my account. The most I'm willing to risk on one trade. Now we recommend, well, most of the IMLTV people recommend anywhere from 1% to 3% on a trade. Some people do 10%. It's up to you. But like, let's just say we do 3%. 3% of 500 is $15. So if you did a 0.5 lot, you would have a tight stop loss of 3 pips. So you want to make your lot size smaller to give you the flexibility to stay in that trade longer. Does that make sense? So for example, instead of doing a $5 lot size, you could do, let's just say you did 0.10, which is $1. You could stand to be in that trade a net 150 pips and still not hit your 3%. So it gives you that room to stay in it longer, or if you want to do bigger lots to gain more on the end, you need to tighten up your stop loss. So it's totally up to you what that looks like. All right. So let's see. I'm trying to. IML philosophy as far as, and then as far as the drawdown, honestly, I don't know the parameters. I don't really get into all of that. I'm just pretty much just trying to show you guys how to pretty much determine your own. Is at the end of the day, even with swipe trades, even with the harmonic scanner, I determine my own risk. Because a lot of times if you get on a swipe trade or you get on the scanner, the stop loss they give you could be close to 100 pips. It could be, it's a lot of, it could be anything. So that's why you need to be calculating it on all fronts. Because if I'm putting in a big lot size and I determine based off a swipe trade or based off of harmonic scanner that the stop loss that they have is going to put me outside of what I'm willing to risk, then I need to adjust my stop loss. So yeah, IML and everything they give are suggestions. It's up to you to tweak it how you want to, okay? So when they give you the scanner, when they give you swipe trades, and they give you a entry, I pretty much take the entries, period. Even with the harmonic scanner, I still only do 10 pips and get out. I don't even ride it to 1, 2, or 30. I grab my 10 pips and I leave. Those are just suggestions, but I don't have to stay in there to that take profit. I stay in there until I'm comfortable with my profit. So the same with the stop loss. They give a stop loss. Sometimes I may do a stop loss, and sometimes I don't do a stop loss. So basically, you calculate pips. You calculate your stop loss the same way you calculate your take profit. So let me go back here. And we can kind of flip this a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so let's just say we were looking at Euro USD. Your take profit 10 pips. We already know what that is. Now, you may say, and here's another thing that goes into play. I encourage you guys, get back on IML TV because there are different indicators that you can use. Look up Bollinger Bands. I love Bollinger Bands. Whenever I get alerts, I look at Bollinger Bands to see where the candles are in conjunction to the Bollinger Bands, because the Bollinger Bands are like these rubber bands. So the prices normally bounce back and forth between those rubber bands. So if she tells me to sell, and I look at the Bollinger Bands and the candles are up here at the Bollinger Bands, I know it's about to go down. So that's a confirmation for me. So that's another thing that you want to do. Like, the signals are great, but also do your own due diligence to determine if you want to take the trades or not. So for those of you all who are taking the 10 pips and dip trades, she's going to always tell you when to buy or sell. She's going to tell you to set your take profit 10 pips from your entry. So that's why she doesn't give a take profit, because depending on how fast or slow it takes you to get into the trade determines where your 10 pips are going to be. So we can all get a push notification right now and go on our phone to buy or to sell, but all of our entries could be different by a pip or 2 pipettes or whatever. So once you get in, you then put your take profit in. And then at that point, you put your stop loss if you choose to use a stop loss. You may say on any trade, I'll always, like, if you go ahead and set in your mind what your lot size is going to be, you can go ahead and know how many pips you're going to set your stop loss for just off the bat. So for example, let's just say I know in my account, the most I'm going to risk is $30. I know I'm going to do a 10 pip. I'm going to do a lot size of 0.10. So that means that I know that on this particular trade, let's just say I entered on Euro USD, 30 pips is $30 for me because I'm using a lot size of 0.10. So if this is let's just say this was a sale, okay? So if this was a sale, let me change this. So let's just say this was a sale, take profit, and then my stop loss. So I know I'm gonna do a lot of 0.10, which is equal to $1 per pip, okay? And then I also know that I'm only gonna risk 30 pips. And honestly, with this scalping measure, generally, like the scanner, swipe trades, the ratios are going to be opposites because they recommend at least a 2-to-1 ratio. So looking for swing trading, it's a 2-to-1 ratio where you're looking to gain at least twice as much what you're really willing to risk. That's with swing trading, okay? With scalping, it's kind of like all the rules out the door. You're kind of trying to jump in, out, in, out, in, out. So all those ratios don't go into play here. I just want to say that because I know some people who have been on my trainings and I've talked about the 2-to-1 ratio. That's dealing with swing trading, long-term swings. And swing trading technically happens a lot in swipe trades as well as harmonic scanner. So if I know I'm risking 30 pips, my lot size is 0.10, that means my risk is $30, okay? So what I would do is when I get this alert from Dr. Kathy, I will immediately enter my sell at 0.10. And then after I enter the trade, I wait until after I enter the trade because entry point is everything. So even though you got to put your take profit in, and even though you got to put your stop loss in, I enter the trade first. Once I'm in the trade, I actually modify the trade to add my stop loss and my take profit. So my take profit is 10 pips. This is a sale. So we just went over this one, which is 1.15962. Okay, that's 10 pips. Okay. And then I know that my stop loss, you're gonna put 30 on this 06. So my stop loss is 1.16362. And that's 30 pips. Okay. So I put pups high, 30 pips. And so that's literally what I do if I'm gonna and so even as you all get ready to trade starting tomorrow night on throughout the week, look at your account now, make a determination. Even if you're in demo, start practicing this now. Yeah, Clyde, I got you. Okay. So you want to look at your account now, go ahead and set your trading plan, go ahead and determine what your goals are for the week. And you may say, and you may be only able to do it day by day, because I know if you were on the leadership call, we talked about how some people are increasing their lot size each day. So you may say, okay, for Monday, I want to start with my lot size being a 0.10. I don't want to risk more than 15 pips. Get that in your mind so that when you actually get alerts, you already know my lot size is 0.10 into that bad boy. Now, let me go in and add my take profit and stop loss. My take profit going to be 10 pips. My stop loss going to be 15. Okay. And then go from there. And then that's how you can do. So then the next day you might be like, oh, okay, great. I put in 10 trades. All my trades hit, or 8 out of 10 of my trades hit. This is my new account balance. So on Tuesday, instead of my lot size being 0.10, I want my lot size to be 0.12. Yeah, it's being recorded. It's going to be posted. So no, your take profit and stop loss aren't the same amounts. Yeah, they're not the same amounts at all. Your lot size is the same across the board for that trade, but then you go in and actually put in however many pips you want to risk to gain on that particular trade. So that's my spiel where it comes to determining your risk. So as a reminder and disclaimer, anybody on this call is more than likely under the team of Dr. Joel Tanker, and just to add some additional value and to give you all extra, just to give you some extra perks and things that you can implement and use. I don't know how many heard about this as well, but before we actually put this app together, we did a test group, and we through Dr. Kathy's alerts and through what we're showing you today, we pull 1,000 pips in 5 days. So imagine if you could just enter a trade, follow some instructions, and make money while you're still learning the process of IML. Now, you entering these trades is totally optional and it's totally up to you. Remember, trade at your own risk. That's why it's important for you to understand lot sizes, pips, all those things. I know you keep asking about a stop loss parameter. It's not one. We picked our own stop losses. She gave us the trade. We picked our own stop loss. That was it. So any other questions? Yeah, Verdita, I use Bollinger Bands. I use the Bollinger Bands and the RSI. Those are two indicators that I use to help me determine if I should close that trade out or if I should stay in that particular trade. Bollinger Bands are actually located. Let me see if I can show you real quick. Hold on. As far as determining your stop loss, you just pick your own based off of your account. Okay. So if you go to your MetaTrader 4 app and go to your chart, at the top of the chart, you'll see like a F for function. and just click on main window and go down the Bollinger Bands. And it's there. I left my Bollinger Band set at what it was already set at. I didn't change anything. As far as the Bollinger Bands, they're like rubber bands. So if the price is near the top, it's probably going to fall. If it's near the bottom, it's probably going to go up. I personally recommend maybe doing some more research and watching some videos on it to get a better understanding of it. So yeah, as far as determining your stop loss, you need to determine what you want to risk, determine what you're willing to lose. Like, I may be willing to lose $300 on a trade, whereas somebody else might only be willing to lose $15. So you determine what that is. Let me see. Denise, yeah. Send a email to me. Actually, I'll look you up in the app and email you. Let me write your name down. Okay. Is there a website to calculate pips? Honestly, I'm not really sure. I don't know. Maybe Google pip calculator or something like that and see if anything like that comes up. Let's see. Yeah, the PowerPoint will be posted through the app. The replay will be posted through the app. Okay, somebody asks, if you find out that you missed a call for a trade earlier, how long the time frame has passed, should you enter the trade or not? What I do, if the trade has been, because more than likely it's like 10 pips dip. If the trade has been longer than 5 to 10 minutes, I won't even try to enter the trade. But what you can do is, let's just say, okay, what some people do, and I've done this in the past before, I'll go back and say, okay, this trade came out 30 minutes ago. Let me see where the price was around that time, and then see what activity has actually happened at that moment. Did it ever make it to the 10 pips yet, or what? But most of the time, 5 to 10 minutes. I know on swipe trades, they recommend if it's been longer than an hour, don't even enter the trade. But that's for swing trading. 10 pips and dip is more so scalping, if you will. So I would say 5 to 7 minutes at the most. Probably don't take that trade unless you get a little bit more savvy with indicators and stuff to see if you believe it's going to still go where you're trying to get it to go. Somebody also asked me to talk a little bit more about the spreads and how they can affect you hitting your take profit. So as I mentioned earlier, the bigger the spread, the longer it's going to take you to get into profit. If you look on your MetaTrader 4 app, and let me actually share mine, hold on. Let's see if I can do this. If you look at your MetaTrader 4 app, you will, let me see, I'm trying to share it. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, let's share screen. Okay, why did I bring up my phone again? I forgot. Oh, okay, so spreads, okay? So with regards to the spreads, you want to look here. So if you look under Euro USD, you see a 9 spread. So that's a little less than 1 pip between these two, okay? And then if you look at Euro JPY, it's an 18 spread. So that's literally like 1.8 pips between your buy and sell. Now, if you look at this Ripple right here, that's literally like, sorry, I'm getting a lot of messages. If you look at, let's just say Bitcoin is super high, 14, that's like 142 pips between your entry and your stop. Like, that's just too much. It's going to take you 142 pips. Now, Bitcoin moves fast, so it can really happen. But that's what you're looking at. And so similar to the pips, how you move the decimal point one place, with lots, you move it one place to the left. So when you look at Euro JPY is 18, move that decimal one place to the left. So that showed you is 1.8. Okay. And so that's how you actually calculate how many pips, but that's how many pips you have to move from your entry to even break even. Okay. So that's how that actually works. So while I have this up, I'll just show you Bollinger Bands chart. So here are Bollinger Bands. Let's see if it'll, okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so here are Bollinger Bands. So as you can see how the price kind of stays in there. If the price starts getting out like it is at the bottom, you see it's getting ready to head back inside, which is a sign that the price will change. Now, I also use RSI and stochastics, okay? I will do another training on this later because it's just too complex for this morning and I have some other stuff to do today. But anyway, oops, hold on. Okay, so with this, and you may want to research and look this up as well, RSI and stochastics helps you determine the strength of a trend and direction. So if you're looking at the RSI, if it's below 30, that's a strong indication that it's oversold and the price is about to go up. Same thing with stochastics, but stochastics is under 20 and over 80. So if it's under 20, that's another strong sign that it's about to go up. And so those are things that I look for to determine, because if you notice, it was above 70 here, which is a sign that the price is going to drop. And then if someone entered the sale around here, as you can look at the candles, it started going down. And so sometimes people use the Bollinger Bands as a way to determine when to enter and exit trades. So all three of these bands act as point of support and resistance. So these are some of the indicators that I use to help me determine what I need. So let me see. Oh, how did I get to Bollinger Bands again? All right, so if you want to go to Bollinger Bands on your MetaTrader 4 app, you're going to hit that F at the top. This is iPhone. I don't know how Androids work. Sorry, guys, but you know. So F. So when you hit F, you just hit main window. And Bollinger Bands is literally like the second one, and it's dealing with helping you with trends. And that's how you get there. And I left everything the same. Didn't change anything. Hey, Tim. Oh my gosh, Tim, you're my hero. Okay, so that's how the Bollinger Bands. So yeah, shout out to Tim. I've been looking at Bollinger Bands, but Tim the one that actually got me on Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastics. Like, you're like the GOAT, like for real, for real. So anyway, shout out to Tim. Yeah, so Bollinger Bands really help with support and resistance. Yeah, exactly, Rob. Let's see, going through some more questions to see if anybody else, Verdita, as far as that in comparison to the cloud, I don't know. I just use it as a second verification. I'm not really a cloud trader like that. I use it more so along the line. I use these with the harmonic scanner. Okay. But if I get alerts from the 10 pips and dip, I also look at these same alerts that I use from the scanner to actually determine if I'm going to actually take that trade or not. So the middle band is also an area of support and resistance as well. So if you notice, let me turn my phone back this way. Let me see if I can find an example. Give me a second. Because it goes from top to bottom. Oh, like right here. Let me see if I can show it on my screen. Okay, so if you look right here, a lot of times when it gets to this middle band, it can either break or it can be an area of resistance and make it drop again. So as you can see, it hit the lower band, it went to the middle band, played around, and then went back down. Then it broke it here and went back up. So all three do play a role in the areas of support and resistance. Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions for me? As far as changing the color of the Bollinger Band, when you go into your session, you just hit style and change the color. Okay. All right, any other questions? How did you make the pips bigger? You just change your pips. So like instead of doing 10 pips, do 20 and just change, yeah, just change it. I think I'm answering your question right, I'm sorry. My Bollinger Band set is whatever was factory. Somebody asked me to delete the Bollinger Bands and add it back. So no Bollinger Bands, go to F, hit main window, hit Bollinger Bands, hit done. And there they are. Okay. Oh, in advanced mode. Oh, thanks, Ashia. I appreciate that. I was like, what? Yeah, so you want to put your phone in advanced mode, because if you put it in simple, this is what it looks like. All you see is the pair and the buy sell price. Advanced allows you to see your lot size, you know, the bigger pips, the spread, the low and the high of the day, all of that. And so it helps you in making some different decisions. All right, guys, any last questions before we wrap? We've been on close to an hour. I believe that I gave you a lot of details. Let me see. I got you, Denise. Rob, I don't even trade fractals. So I know Dr. Ashia does. I may get with her to see if she'll do a fractals training. She's like a beast with it. Okay, just checking these messages. Okay. Oh, somebody said, how did I project your phone onto your computer with iPhone? Well, it's a couple of ways you can do it. I'm on a Mac, so I'm able to actually just mirror it there. But also, if you have an updated version of your iPhone, if you're on Zoom on your phone, you can literally go to your screen recording spot to actually share your phone from your cell phone. Pretty cool. All right, guys, so as I stated, I will post this PowerPoint presentation for you all to be able to go back over. It'll be in PDF format to make it easier to download. And also the replay will be posted for you to look at again. I'm excited about your success. And, you know, if you have questions, always feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be doing more trainings coming along for you all. So welcome to IML for those of you who are brand new. For those of you who've been in for a while but kind of chilling, it's time to get that bag. Super excited, you guys. Have a great rest of your Saturday. And that's a wrap for me. God bless.